Matt Hart here from Mountain Magazine. Today's quick tip is how to make a pair of screw shoes. If you're someone who wants to keep running your favorite trails in the wintertime, when they're covered in snow and ice and traction becomes an issue, I found this to be the perfect solution. There are, of course, other options. You can cover the shoe with a traction device, but I find that if you run every day, those just don't last that long. They're not that durable. They often don't even last through the whole winter. This is super simple, it's cheap, it's very light, totally customizable, and as long as you have the right tools, super easy to set up. You're basically making your shoe a studded snow tire. To do this properly, you're going to need four things. You're going to need your favorite trail running shoe, you're going to need a drill, you're going to need a 1/4 inch socket, and the proper screws, the sheet metal screws. So for shoes, if I'm doing a long run, I tend to pick an OutDry or a Gore-Tex shoe that keeps my foot drier longer, more comfortable. And for everyday running, I'll drill some screws into a lighter weight, less cumbersome shoe that I enjoy running in a little bit more. There are real considerations with which shoe you're putting the screws into. If you have an air bubble or something in the sole, you have to just be careful where you're drilling the screw into. Also, your midsole, how thick the midsole is pretty important as far as which screws you're going to use. So if it's a really long screw going into the forefoot with not a lot of midsole, you might poke through the bottom of the shoe. For drills, you can use any drill really. You can do it manually with a screwdriver as well, it's just not as fun. You need the 1/4 inch socket for the drill, and that's the key point that makes this super fun, because it's hex, and these sheet metal screws are hex as well, so they fit right in, and it's magnetic, and it makes it really easy to drill them in. For screws, the hex-headed sheet metal screws, number 8, 1/2 inch, and 3/8 inch are the two that I've found consistently at the Home Depot. They're really easy to find at most hardware stores. I tend to put the 3/8 inch in the rear of the shoe where there's more midsole. There's just more, so where it can get more purchase. Of course, you want to drill into the raised lugs and not the depressions of the shoe, obviously. For screws, there's apparently some screws out there that come in number 8, 1/4 inch, but I have yet to find that in any hardware store, so I stick to the number 8, 1/2 inch, and the number 8, 3/8 inch screws. So as far as pattern, where you want to put the screws, it's really up to you. For this shoe, I wanted a lot of traction. There are 20 screws in this shoe. I think the typical pattern is more of this triangle pattern, which is super simple, very light, pretty effective, minimally. You don't have to buy a whole lot of screws. So this is the triangle pattern, and that's 6 screws, and this one's just sort of, I've spaced them an inch away, and that's about 20 screws. So for a quick trip to the hardware store, $3, and a little effort, you can be running through the winter.
Do you like that?
I don't understand where your point was with this.